The Prime Minister has blunted opposition attacks about her connection to the AWU scandal that's been plaguing her for 2 decades. In the 1990s, Julia Gillard gave legal advice on setting up a fund to 2 AWU officials, her then boyfriend Bruce Wilson and his colleague Ralph Blewitt. She later described it as a slush fund, but has consistently denied any wrongdoing. Today in a press conference and in question time, Julia Gillard tackled every allegation put to her in an attempt to extinguish the issue. But Ralph Blewitt is fanning the flames, talking to the police and the media. Melissa Clark reports from Canberra.
Stepping up to the crease. For the better part of an hour, questions were bowled up and Julia Gillard answered. Why she didn't inform the AWU executive the fund was being set up.
The 2 people I was dealing with were office bearers of the AWU.
Why she didn't report alleged misuse of union funds.
You can't report things you do not know.
Whether she personally benefited from union funds.
I am confident that I paid for the renovations on my home.
And denying receiving $5,000 from her then boyfriend Bruce Wilson, and how she's tried to get proof from the Commonwealth Bank.
They have advised me it is not possible to get records from 17 years ago.
It was a strident defence from a Prime Minister under a sustained pace attack.
These things have been cycled and recycled and re-recycled and re-recycled over 20 years. I did nothing wrong.
The Coalition is convinced the Prime Minister has a case to answer, and Tony Abbott is pursuing it with zeal.
The only way to restore hope, reward and opportunity is to change this government, and that's my mission, to change this government as quickly as I can.
The Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
But when it came time for the second innings, this time in Parliament, every question was put by Tony Abbott's deputy.
What steps did she take to ensure that using the name of the union would not breach Section 8 of the Associations Incorporation Act? What steps did she take to ensure the association was authorised by the Australian Workers' Union to open such a bank account bearing its name? Apart from Bruce Wilson and Ralph Blewitt, who were the other members of this association?
This is bordering on the embarrassing now. To savour the questions, let me assure her I didn't fake the moon landing. I wasn't responsible for the assassination of JFK.
And Julia Gillard didn't let Tony Abbott's time in the passenger seat go unremarked.
For the benefit of those following proceedings by radio, I confirm that the Leader of the Opposition was present at question time today.
The opposition is using every opportunity to raise the AWU matter, including moving a private member's bill to increase penalties for union fraud.
This is a bill that is going to test the moral character of Ms Gillard and the Labor Party.
This is just another stunt by the opposition to keep a nasty smear campaign alive when everything else they've tried has backfired.
It's not just the opposition keeping this alive. One of the key protagonists, Ralph Blewitt, has admitted to police he was a party to fraud.
We provided the Victoria Police with a complete dossier of files which show documents that certainly connect Julia Gillard to having a hand in the establishment of the AW Workplace Reform Association in WA and other matters.
She's admitted that she had a role in the establishment of that fund. What are the other matters?
No comment.
Mr Blewitt, according to people who know him, has been described as a complete imbecile, an idiot, a stooge, a sexist pig, a liar, and his sister has said he's a crook and rotten to the core. His word against mine. Make your mind up.
Julia Gillard has been labelling this a smear campaign. I think it's a bit hypocritical of her to now come out and try and smear me, to detract people from the main event here.
The Prime Minister has survived the bouncers and Yorkers sent her way and wants this saga to be over. Parliament has begun its last sitting week for the year, and the government's introducing long-awaited legislation on school funding and the beginning of the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Julia Gillard would like to start 2013, an election year, with this matter exhausted, but the opposition's not conceding. Melissa Clark, Late Line.